Hello, good day. At times I'm always confused by this machine. So life goes. Now we are at the 5th week of Easter. Every week of the year. It's like breaking open something wonderful that the Lord has for us. Or sitting down at the dinner table for a whole new course. So glorious is each Sunday, are the readings and the liturgy of each Sunday. This particular Sunday, I'd like to start with the second reading. Normally, I start with the first. This is from the book of Revelations. And the theme here is, as I see it, is building the church of God. It starts off, Revelations chapter 21, verses 1 to 5. Then I, John, saw a new heaven and a new earth. The former heaven and the former earth had passed away. The way I interpret that is that the Lord is building a new church. No longer the Old Testament, Old Covenant, the church of the Jews, but a new church. A new church open to all peoples. And behold, God's dwelling, it says a little further on, is with the human race. He will dwell with them. They will be his people. And God himself will always be with them as their God. Everything is centered in the Lord in this new church. And from the sentences before, I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. The new church is like the bride married to God. Okay, in a marriage, the two people come together to belong to one another. Still having their individuality, but now not belonging to themselves, but belonging to one another. And making a whole new thing by belonging to one another. In the first reading of the Acts of the Apostles, Paul and Barnabas go out and proclaim the good news and made a considerable number of disciples. However, they feel they need to exhort them because as Paul and Barnabas have gone through many struggles, he knows that their new disciples will go through many struggles. They strengthen the spirits of the disciples and exhort them to persevere in the faith. Hardships await them. It will not be easy to be followers, to be the church of God. What God has done is reported back to the church back in Antioch. What God has done is to open the door of faith to the Gentiles. This is something new. It's a new church. The church is not just an extension or something within Judaism, but something totally new, beyond the expanse of the old Jewish faith, the old Judaism. And going on to the gospel. What a contrast it is here, right in the beginning. When Judas had left them, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of God glorified and God glorified in him." Judas, darkness, the work of the devil. And the next, just the part of the same breath, is the glory of God. Because the devil does his work, but the devil is overcome. God's work, because he gives up so much in love by suffering, dying. Then out of that suffering and death is born new life. And the gates of heaven are open. The door of faith is open to the Gentiles. So much is accomplished by Jesus, Jesus, God, is glorified. Then again, almost in the same breath, my children, I will no longer be with you, but I give you a new commandment, love one another. This is the glory of God and his people, our love for one another. As I have loved you, love one another. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. This is the sign of the church of God, functioning as the Lord wants it to function. God's presence with his people, pouring out God's love on us. We in turn, because we have received love from the Lord, love one another. That's the sign. That's the glory of the Lord. God's love triumphant in God's work in his people. God bless you all on another glorious Sunday of Easter.